Alright, so this is Housewives of Atlanta. I'm sorry I have to begin again. So this is season 7. I don't even know what episode, but this was a really good episode. And it's KJ, and I'm back. I forgot my intro because I was completely thrown off. But anyway, it was a pretty good episode. And basically, we start off with Apollo is officially gone. He's out of here. Apollo is gone. Phaedra's headed home. She's been staying at a hotel or whatever with her assistant or whoever and the kids. So she headed home. She got security with her and everything. And they going to help her go to the house. So they follow her, get her on to the house. They go in the house. They basically check out the scene. Everything is good. So she's telling them she can leave or where they can leave. She then sits down and tells the assistant how this whole thing with Apollo affected her. And how she just want to kill Apollo and bomb him and cremate him and this and that and just all that shit, right? Anyway, we move on to Candy and Todd. So Candy and Todd are basically Todd is coming back from the LA and Candy is there getting the candy coated nights together. Todd comes in, doesn't look like he is at all happy to be back to Atlanta, but she's happy to see him. So she comes in, he comes in, and they start talking. Don Juan try to put his 2 cents on it because they were saying something about spice up the sex life, and Don Juan try to put his 2 cents on the situation. Get down, Zoe. Try to put his 2 cents in on the situation, and I just don't like when he talking. I don't like to hear him speak, and I don't like to hear him speak to Todd or about Todd. So that's that for me, period. And Candy, I don't like how you let him speak. So Todd was like, where you get these people from? She was like, I don't know. But Todd, they get on Todd fucking nerves, and I can tell that. And Candy kind of get on Todd nerves too, actually. Because as we can see, they sit down and they talking or whatever, and Candy starts talking about who, he been grinding or whatever. She's like, well, speaking of grinding, have you been grinding? Like, have you been fucking? Because we ain't fucking, so have you been fucking? So he was like, last time I was grinding was with you. And she was like, well, how long ago has that been? So he was like, no comment. So clearly that's been a while. They're not having sex. And they just got married, and it's ridiculous. So, they try to recall the last time they had sex, but clearly it's been a while. Todd talks it up to Candy, and she not know Rihanna, he not know Tyson Beckford, whatever that mean. I feel like that was some shade, and I think Candy took it as shade. And then he said, her bonnet, and he's not attracted to the bonnet and all this shit. So he really just gives them excuses of why he not fucking Candy. Then they talk about Candy talking about, well, would you marry all? He was like, would you marry me all over? Do you love me? Would you marry me all over again? So she was like, I guess, she was kind of joking it off and laughing off, but she turned around and asked him the question, and guess what he said? Nothing. He did not even respond. He just paused, and he was just like, I'm all in. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I'm all in. That to me means I would not remarry you, but since we married now, I'm good. Well, I'm all in. We're going to try to make this work out. Todd also asked about, why, Candy want to go to counseling. So Todd was like, well, why you want to go to counseling? What are we going to counseling for? And so she was like, well, I want to go about the sex life. He was like, okay. So he was like, he asked, well, are we straight with the finances? Are the finances straight? So Candy was like, well, I am, basically saying my money's straight. I don't know about your money. And that's a whole nother red flag. Like, Candy, once again, you are married. I get he signed a prenup or whatnot, but at the same time, that was the wrong response. You shouldn't have said that. And I think I would probably have said something to that response. But, of course, Todd being the nonchalant, really, I don't give a fuck, he didn't really respond to that. I would have, had I been him. But anyway, Cynthia, Kenya, and Claudia, they meet up when they're talking about the whole situation with Apollo and Phaedra. I guess they had heard through the grapevine of what went on. Cynthia reveals that she had some tea about that situation. So she tells them about what Peter told her, basically spreading the fucking gossip. I don't think she should have even mentioned that or said that at that time, but she did. Kenya was in shock, basically, that Phaedra could be acting whorish in any way, based on how she called her so many whores and how she's supposed to be so Christian-like and her husband and this and that and the third. And she was basically the leader of the pack about Kenya being a whore. Kenya more whore. Kenya this, that. Phaedra was the leader. So Cynthia recalls that Phaedra has always really pretty much been a liar since day one. She's like, she don't really know Phaedra, but she definitely knows Phaedra's representative. So they flash back to a couple of seasons back where Phaedra was trying to lie about her baby due date. You know, Phaedra has always been like this shady ass, fake ass, Southern Belle ass type of bitch. Which is why I do not put anything past the fact that she knew what Apollo was doing. And she is was cheating on him, or is cheating on him with this chocolate. And she did send those messages. Like, I believe it. Totally. So really, anyway, Kenya gets emotional because she's in disbelief of Phaedra's actions, basically. And she really, how she can treat other people like that, and how she can come out of her mouth to call somebody a whore when she's basically being a whore. That's in Kenya's opinion. So Kenya asked basically for the proof. She's like, well, where's the proof? You know, like, where is this proof? So Cynthia was like, you know, she didn't see it, but she says Peter did see the proof. Peter did see the text messages. And Kenya was like, you know, she feel like her karma is strong, and this is basically just coming back on Phaedra because how Phaedra did her and how low down she has been to her. Phaedra and the kids at home. Phaedra waiting on the pastor to come by, whatever, because Phaedra's basically trying to come in and have him come in and bless the house and release all the evil spirits. Whatever pastor said that, you know, whatever, you know, he said that she sure had some demons in the house, and Phaedra say she felt the energy shift when he left or when he finished or whatever, and it was a real life exorcism. Oh my God, Phaedra. Seriously, shut the hell up. Don't talk. I'm tired of Phaedra. I don't want Phaedra on TV no more. Cynthia and Peter are at home, and Cynthia's basically getting packed or dressed or whatever for this whole dinner that Candy has planned for all the ladies to show up. And she says that her and Candy are basically the neutral ones in the group, or was the neutral ones in the group. So she would, and he couldn't, and so she was telling Peter that she told Kenya about the whole text message situation, and he couldn't understand why Kenya was so emotional or about what was going on in Phaedra life. So Cynthia basically explained the whole horror situation, and Phaedra never apologized, and like I said, but I still don't think it was worth the tears that Kenya brought forth. Like, I feel like, yes, I would have been probably smiling from ear to ear like, gotcha, bitch. But I don't think I would have been crying. You know what I'm saying? But in any case, that's how it affected her. It is what it is. Cynthia, so he was like, he said, so, she was like, so are we the only ones who know? He was like, no, Apollo told Todd. So she was like, okay, well, see, now she's trying to justify telling Cynthia. She was like, okay, well, Apollo told Todd, so Todd probably said something to Phaedra. Todd probably said something to Candy. So Peter was like, well, did Candy say something to Phaedra? She was like, she don't know, or something like that. She said, so this is what, he was like, you know, this is nothing that you and I have anything to do with. You know, this is really not having anything to do with us. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, I was just basically coming home telling you, but I really didn't feel like you should have told them. That's what I think that Peter was saying when he said, this really ain't got nothing to do with me and you. And that's when Cynthia kind of just like, yeah, you know, because she feels in her heart that she shouldn't have told that shit. She shouldn't have been spreading that gossip. Alright, so she basically put herself in the middle of it, even after, so when after Peter said, you know, this ain't got nothing to do with me and you, I'm sure she thinking like, well, damn, I just put myself in the middle by spreading the fucking gossip that you told me. Candy and Phaedra meet up to catch up, because it seems that Candy and Phaedra have not been talking, and I read that they have not been talking, you know, on Tamara Chattels, I think it was, but I did read that they was kind of not really as close as they were with this whole Apollo situation. Candy asked her twice what's going on with Apollo's situation. Phaedra walking around the house like ain't shit wrong, ain't shit just happened. Her husband is still around there, good. You know, she walking around acting like she's just so fake to me. Oh my God. So Candy asked her twice about the Apollo situation. When we finally get to see the holes that he punched in the wall that she been talking about for forever, and that way she recaps the day he was supposed to go report to Candy, and he didn't. And she says now she feels good that there is some resolve, and says now for the first time in years she can do her and take care of the kids. So this is what I'm thinking. Like, the first time in years, Phaedra, that reveals to me that she knew about what Apollo was up to, and that she was been waiting for the shit to hit the fan with Apollo and this whole illegal shit that he was doing for years. Or either he or she been planning and get out of her marriage for years, you know, unhappy for years, and now she's relieved to be free, which is also why I believe she sent that damn text message, because it sounds just like Phaedra, that she'll be off the plantation soon. Like, all of that together sounds like, I'm just glad to be free from Apollo. The text message, I'm glad to be free, all of that equates to she's lying, and I believe she has been texting that man. Anyway, she tells Kandi that Nene has been there for her and it's been a rock for her and daily since this is happening. Kandi's just like, oh, really? Okay, well, that's great. You know, that's wonderful. And said Phaedra kind of giving her the side eye, like, what's that about, Kandi? She was like, no, she's like, that's cool. You know, that's cool that she been there for you, whatever. But that's not your motherfucking friend. Don't get it twisted, Phaedra. Please don't act and pretend like that's your friend, but whatever. So I guess Phaedra decides to go ahead and attend the dinners. Kandi tells her about the dinner. She started talking about she gonna have to do this, that, and the third. And Kandi doesn't mention Mr. Chocolate, as if Todd either had not mentioned it to her, or she just did, you know, she did not know at all, but she never mentioned it at that time. So the day arrives for Kandi's dinner, and all the ladies show up, even Portia. Everybody comes in very positive and hugging and talking and this and that. And everybody seems to be good. It's starting off on a good start. Kandi asked Nene what she been up to. So Nene was like, you know, Broadway and this and that. So they all just kind of catching up because they haven't seen each other really since Puerto Rico. So Nene turned around and asked Phaedra what Phaedra been up to. So Phaedra was like, nah, just living, you know, whatever. So Cynthia actually breaks in and was just like, you know, Cynthia says, actually, Peter has been in touch with Apollo, and she's awkwardly really trying to bring up the whole text message that Peter showed her, but it's so awkward. You know why it's awkward? Because it's not her place. She's completely and utterly out of place bringing this shit up. I don't give a fuck. She is out of place. So that's why it's so awkward, because it's not her place to bring it up to Phaedra. And if anybody was going to bring it up to Phaedra, it would be Kenya, because of the fact that Phaedra was the one calling her a whore, and like Cynthia said, she has been the one exhibiting whore-like behavior. So if anybody was to bring it up comfortably, I think it would have been Kenya. But the fact that Cynthia was bringing up and stuttering and not knowing what to say, it was because she was out of place in the first place. So Cynthia, you know, like I said, she brings up the whole thing, and she kind of dilly-dallying around it. So Kenya was like, you know, there was a lot more to it than that, and she feels some type of way. And at this point, you know, I'm so confused. Like, what is Cynthia's position? Why are you bringing this up? Why are you baited or why were you baited or chosen to actually be the one to say this? And why you bring it up here? Why are you bringing it up now? You know what I'm saying? In front of everybody. Can you put her 2 cents on it? And Phaedra cannot take it. So Phaedra kind of lunged at Kenya like she was going to bop her with her purse or something. So everybody get all up in arms. What's her name? Portia actually got up and grabbed Phaedra, y'all. Really? No. So everybody holding Phaedra and all that. And all Nene and Portia walk outside. Portia really tried to hold Phaedra. I can't believe it. That was so funny to me. Phaedra said it was a lie, and the African seems like the running theme, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. Cynthia's still talking and goes into the text messages, and Phaedra just like, Apollo lied about those texts if they was you know, were they true. And I'm just like, she a hypocrite. Why are those texts that the Apollo talking about a lie, but when it comes to Kenya and the text message of Apollo, you can't seem to believe that, right? You just a fucking hypocrite, bitch. Phaedra doesn't want the truth, really. That's what I think. Claudia's basically surprised that she got up. She was like, not the Christian. King was like, yeah, let her hit me so she can go to jail just like Portia. So they played Kandi basically saying good night to the ladies after everybody's walking out. And basically to show us that Kandi was the last person to leave. Kandi was the last person to get up. Everybody else, Portia, Phaedra, and Nene both all walked out with Phaedra. And of course, Portia calls out that Kandi was the last person, Kandi's loyalty to Phaedra's whole situation. But I truly believe that Phaedra's a liar. And I really care what the hell Phaedra say. So they standing outside talking, and Phaedra is still denying. And she's so-called pissed and basically just talking about how Kenya gonna get her ass whooped, and this has got to be a lie, and I ain't finna give this no more light and all that shit. Kenya and the ladies come outside to talk some more, basically. And Phaedra's talking about she gonna slap Kenya, but But when Kenya come outside, she stay mute. She don't open her goddamn mouth to say nothing to Kenya. And Kenya just basically like, you know, why y'all leave? Y'all didn't have to leave. So Kenya was like, you know, we do have to leave. If it's going to be like that and people going below the belt, we're going to have to leave. So Kenya was like, well, don't go below the belt first. You know what I'm saying? Don't dish shit out that you can't motherfucking take. So Nene feels like Cynthia is messy for even bringing it up. Why bring it up here? Why bring it up at the table in front of all these people who don't really give a fuck about Phaedra and her marriage or anything like that? Which I must agree, that one scene only, that one sentence only with Nene, that Cynthia, it was out of place bringing it up. So she calling her messy or whatever. Cynthia caused the whole whore calling and acting lost. You know, Cynthia was like, you know, this is really about, you know, y'all, everybody just calling everybody whore. So they acting lost like they don't know who called who a whore. So Nene was like, who called somebody a hoe? She was like, you called Claudia a hoe. And Portia, what's her name? Phaedra been calling Kenya a hoe for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Be honest about the shit. Nene talking about, don't be mad how somebody react to something that you say when you going below the belt. But you the pot calling the goddamn kettle black, Nene. So shut the fuck up. You react the same way when people saying shit to you that you don't like. So why don't you shut the hell up, okay? And stop trying to justify the fact that girl tried to hit her. Because, bitch, I'm telling you, if she tried to hit her and Kenya knock her motherfucking ass out and really turn around and hit her ass back, then y'all will be looking crazy. See, ain't nobody expecting her to retaliate and hit them bitches back or lunge back at them bitches. But if I were you, Kenya, I would. Just for the fact that you bitches are not finna keep coming for me. Physically or at all. I'm gonna show y'all ass. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, you from Detroit. You better get with their asses. Don't let them keep coming for you. Anyway, so they basically leave and steady talking shit as they leave. And Kandi trying real hard to continue to be on Phaedra's dick and, you know, telling Phaedra, don't let them get you that way. And you're an attorney, so, you know, you shouldn't let them. The main thing is your job and this and that. Kandi, stop trying to kiss Phaedra's ass. Clearly, Phaedra is upset with you for not being where you needed to be or not being there for her. And she has taken on to Nene's side. So say fuck it. Like, stay neutral like you have been. And if Phaedra got a problem, then she can have a problem at home, goddamn mind. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that Phaedra's a liar. I am not here for Phaedra. I do not like her. Like, I'm sick of her. And at this point, I don't believe nothing Phaedra says. I will never believe anything Phaedra says. These people got receipts. Apollo had a receipt, bitch. Okay? So, what you're denying is irrelevant. You sound like you lying. You just sound like you lying. Me, I'm having an affair. Child, please, honey. What she said, got my jobs and I'm taking care of my kids. Phaedra, don't say that shit no more about you taking care of your kids and you got a job, okay? Everybody got a fucking job, okay? Everybody ain't got kids, but everybody got a job and everybody taking care of something. So why don't you stop using that for like you ain't got no time to be hoeing around or fucking off or doing nothing else? Because clearly we know that you would creep out at 2:30 in the morning to go to a project or go to an air mattress or do what the fuck ever, okay? So, I am not trying to hear it, Phaedra. I think Phaedra's a fucking liar. And I wish Kenya would have got back with her ass. But Kenya is such a lady. She's not going to do that. But I just wish she would have. Because Phaedra deserves it. She deserves it. For real. Now, all this shit was going on. You ain't try to lunge at me one time. You ain't try to hit me one time when you thought I was trying to fuck your man. When you all thought I was trying to suck your man dick. When you thought I was trying to text your man. But the minute I come at you about some shit, another man, you gonna lunge at me. You ain't even trying to protect your husband that way. Bitch, fuck you. Anyway, that was the end of my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This video is long enough. I do want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Comment if you got something to say. Peace.